Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Alright, I got like a billion.
All right,
Doing the Lord's work, man. Doing the Lord's
It's
work.
really annoying and I'm back because I'm like picture and
Yeah,
I'm
of course. Ladies first. We'll be right up.
Sorry.
Right up.
You should start doing
Perfect. Thank you so much.
All right, man.
All right, sweetheart. How you doing? You're up. You're up.
Ready?
Splendid.
Yeah, all right.
Splendid. I want a picture of this for my Twitter.
Oh, trust me, everybody can take a picture of this shirt. I got more pictures of this shirt.
Come here. Come
Yes.
here.
That was exciting.
Come here and let me take a picture of us.
Yeah. Oh, I get that too?
No, I got it. Actually, yeah, you do need to get this, yes.
You gotta make sure the lighting's right so I don't look like a shadow, you know.
You look fine, sweetheart. You're gonna be fine. There we go. Just do like a bunch for me.
Yeah.
There we go.
I took like 5. Just
Perfect.
I didn't. Oh, is my phone still on? Yeah, good.
There we go. We like that. That's perfect. Yeah, perfect.
Taking another one.
Hey. Perfect. Thanks. We have any problems with the back door? One second.
Hey, Milo. How's it going, man?
How's it going? Hi. How are you doing?
stuff, man.
Nice to
Lovely
meet you.
stuff.
All right, thanks very much.
Love it.
Do you know what? I think we're going to do the rest of the end if that's okay, because they're going to let people through much faster now.
perfect.
Just so that we can get started at a reasonable time. But I'll stay around for as long as I need to at the end. Okay. All right. Let me. I'm actually going to come hide behind you just for a minute, just so that I'm less accessible.
I just want to say thank you so much for coming despite all
Thank you.
this.
Thank you so
BS.
much.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate that. Thank you. How are you?
I'm great
All
too.
right. Oh,
These are
splendid.
all my Make America Great friends.
Splendid.
See if we can
How
take
are
a
you?
picture with you.
Could we do it at the end? Is that all right?
Yeah, sure.
Just
don't rush away because
I promise
we'll,
I won't.
We'll
I promise.
protect you. We'll be your iron guard.
I promise I won't. I'm gonna.
here.
Oh, I don't speak Greek.
Okay.
None.
Well,
I only know Malacca.
Well, that's the one you need.
That's all I need.
We'll be here at the.
Yeah, no, don't worry. I'll wait. This might be a smart time for me to head out back, actually. Because
I just want to say hi.
Hey,
I'm
thank
really
you.
looking forward to this.
Thank you. I might actually head up the back. I'm gonna head out the back.
Watch your step.
Thanks. Can I get Tim or somebody? I think the page. Can I get Tim maybe?
Milo, the sunglasses, fam.
Thank you, sweetheart. What did you say?
Oh yeah.
It might be smart for me to head up the back now because otherwise everyone's gonna want to talk to me when they come through. So I'm gonna be up there. I'm gonna head up the back, so otherwise everyone's gonna want me on the way in. Tim, I'm gonna head up the back because otherwise everyone's gonna want to see me on the way in.
Yes.
So I'll be up there.
Green room. In the bathroom.
Such as it is. Could you just make sure we have sound sorted for both of those boys? Because I'm worried about that. Good. Oh, you got in, did you? Hello. How are you?
How you doing?
We don't shake hands.
Nice
Big
shit
fag.
show.
Yeah, right. You got nice seats and everything. You're happy?
We do, thank you.
All right, fine. I'll see you in half an hour or something.
Don't these people know if they don't protest, you don't have a story?
No, they don't. Thanks
for coming, man.
Of course. I'll see you in a little bit. Thanks. I'm fine. I just don't want to be in there when everyone's fighting because everyone's trying to talk to me. Crazy still. It's so amusing to me. Hey, again. Thanks so much. Thanks for helping out. Thank you. Got all this. What is that? Part of a tribe. What is it? talk at Yale. My favorite sculpture project this semester.
Yeah. Milo's mic is hot. Cut that. Down now. Yeah, because people were hearing him say stuff in the drum. Okay. Thank you.
He has my insulin. Please. Hey, Tim.
Hey, you gotta watch this. Did that just break?
Hold this. Hold it.
Here, you guys need help?
We're fine. Can you scoot this over? This is tipsy.
I got it.
There you go.
You see the Trump?
Everyone, we're in!
So is Noel's mic gonna be fine? Is Noel's mic gonna be fine?
He's got a microphone for the live stream.
Yeah.
He has to
Oh,
put
he
on
needs
the
a
school
live
has
one.
like one freaking lavalier.
I can't find anyone from the school.
I know. There's no AV guy. There's nothing.
Where is Haley? Where's the AV guy? We don't have live. We're
one of
good.
these.
We're good on the stream, but Noelle needs to be able to talk to the auditorium.
I told her to come.
This is not on Club Story. She needs to figure this out. Tell her she can talk to Luke here, but she's in agreement. Okay.
Close the door. Close the door.
Yo, get in there. Well, I need you guys to take hold of this because I don't know what's going on.
You need a microphone.
That's the kid who stole.
What did he steal?
He stole Haley's Asian friend, the one that was like helping organize. He stole like shit out of his bag and walked away, and I got this shit.
I hope my shit isn't gone. I had a laptop.
Is it on the side over there?
Yeah.
I can take
Like
all
now,
these
you want me to
things
grab
with
it?
my friends.
I need them here.
Noel is my favorite new comedian who I've met, based in LA. He's going to be opening for us tonight. This is Noel. That's all right, sir. Fine police officers of California.
So these guys.
Yeah.
Hi, Nigel.
Hey, don't break my legs. Don't break my legs. What are you doing? So there's this pounding on the door back here. Someone's just wailing away on the door. InfoWars in there to get the shot.
And we had the same idea at the same time.
That's right. See if you can detect any alien light forms out there. Okay, there they are. Okay, cool. All right. Excellent. I'm the guy doing it. All right, we're waiting to get more people into the room, and then we'll begin the event.
events, I go to one. Yeah, and I just watch my shows and yeah, that's what else I watch. It's great. It's great because I get like an entire floor to myself. So there's like a floor on this floor.
This is the mic right now.
Okay. I do.
I got it.
All right, so we're here at UCLA for the Dangerous Faggot Tour. Currently, we're stuck. A handful of people have managed to get inside, but most of the people have been blocked by maybe a dozen, maybe 24 protesters who are not able, who are blocking more than 500 people who lined up to get into the event, block them from entering. So now we're kind of on hold, waiting for people to come in to fill the rest of the room so that we can listen to Milo's presentation. So on both sides of the hall here, the theater that we're in, people tried to charge into the room. There was a clash between people who were trying to get in and people who were trying to block them from getting in. So they blocked the main entrance and then they moved around and they blocked the side doors as well, creating all kinds of fire hazards. The police had to shut both doors down. And so now there's no entrance for all the people who have been waiting for hours in line to get into the venue to watch the event. Yeah, so they blockaded the front first. The people who managed to make it inside were able to run around and get in through a back door. That's how they were able to get in. But overall, it looks like they're still blocked. People are still not able to get in. We're over an hour past when we were supposed to start, and we still haven't gotten it going. I'm Dustin Stocktown with Breitbart. Thanks. Is that all right? I think that's what he did. Like, hey, I got stuck.
Mr. Biggs, just want to say thank you to my Yiannopoulos and I'm happy to see you here. As you say, when we're done.
I'm ready. What's up, Milo? I'm Dustin. Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Milo Yiannopoulos. We're here at UCLA. It's insane, as always, I'm sorry to say. So the protesters kind of stormed the building, and my people, like some of my people are in now. We had to kind of like evade the police to get in here, because the police didn't want to let anybody in. Protesters don't seem to realize, and I tell them, I'm very honest with them about it. I tell them, you are doing all of my marketing work for me. You are helping me out so much. Can't even explain to you how good this is for me. These people, in fact, I reckon, audience at home, sitting there thinking, I'm voting for these guys. These guys are crazy. I'm going to vote for the other guy. Protests like this, which characterize the left as entirely...
We're getting somewhere close.
One of the favorite chants at my events, because people here love America. I can't understand why the people outside don't. It's the best country in the world. Right. The room is like getting to a relatively full situation now, so I'm going to go and prepare myself. And thank you for watching, thank you for waiting. We'll see you on the other side. How you doing, buddy? Thanks. Are they telling you not to let anyone in? No, that's not it.
Close the door.
Thanks to Mike for sneaking you all in. All right, we're going to get going as soon as we can. Thank you so much.
Otherwise, the fire marshal's going to shut this whole event down.
I'll have to do it up on stage, not down there.
Yeah, okay.
I'll make sure no one opens it. Push the button.
Check. Check. Good evening and welcome to Feminism is Cancer featuring Milo. My name is Yiannopoulos and I'm the External Vice President of Bruin Republicans at UCLA. Bruin Republicans at UCLA is a premier right-of-center organization on campus, purpose to champion conservative ideals through advocacy, education, and fellowship. As an organization, we never endorse nor condemn Milo Yiannopoulos in his positions, as we're an incredibly ideologically diverse club composed of members in strong support of and vehement opposition to Milo and his claims. Nevertheless, we collectively believe that universities should be bastions of intellectual freedom, purpose to expose students to challenging and opposing viewpoints, such that students may participate in the free exchange of ideas. Accordingly, we maintain that no idea that cannot withstand thoughtful critique is worth holding. In the marketplace of ideas, the greatest ideas are able to prevail and to drive our society forward. For that reason, we are hosting Milo Yiannopoulos tonight for Feminism is Cancer to provide his argument that modern campus feminism is a cancerous, regressive ideology contrary to social progress. Tonight, let it be known that sunlight is the best disinfectant. Our shared true Bruin values and remain courteous and respectful of our speaker and all other guests. As such, disruptions will not be tolerated, and in the case that anyone presents a direct security threat or violates the student code of conduct, we have UCPD officers on the premises and may ask you to leave if you do not cease your misconduct following a verbal warning. Now, before we proceed with our regularly scheduled program, we would like to begin the evening with some humor and introduce comedian and internet sensation Noel Miller for a brief comedy set. Please join me in welcoming Noel Miller.
Up a little bit. You hear me? Am I good? Should I yell? Make some noise, man. You made it in here. Let me know I'm not scared of a lesbian, alright? Only difference between me and them is the hair. I'll shave this shit off and we can box out back. You see it, man. Trump supporters, I see you, a ton of you. Man, I'm not really like political, but my girlfriend pissed me off so bad the other day that I did want to vote for Trump. I see some of us have brown girlfriends. Now he's gonna kick her ass out. Fuck America, make me single again. Look, I love her, I just don't want to be with her all the time. Too strong, too strong? I was really hoping I get like a pasty nerd feminist right here. You said you're sorry? Hey, no. Hey, you showed up. Hey, give this man the balls. He showed up in here and he's not being honest. He just had the attention, man. Who you? I was hoping you had like a sign or something so I could just ask him why. The biggest thing I see with some of these feminist dudes is like, I know females don't know they exist, so why do they fight like they've never been with one? They want to fight for the rights of all of them. I've been with my girl 4 years, I don't fight to get her a refund. I look at right there in Olive Garden like, I know that's pubic hair in the pasta, baby, but I mean, you beating mine, it's really not that different. You're gonna hear a whole lot worse tonight. I was thinking about the wage gap on my way over here. I think it's bullshit. Well, I don't dig into the data too much. I'm one of these guys who likes to speak from personal experience, right? I'm a computer engineer. In my personal experience, having a pair of titties is the best thing you can have in the workplace. I mean, everyone with titties makes more money than me. Female titties, man titties. I'm thinking about getting my own pair of titties, you know what I'm saying? Hey, transgender's in. Why are you covering your face? Now is the time to do it. You want to know what the gender wage gap is? It's right here. You can fill it up and just smash and shut. Hey, even 2 Chainz used to go by Titty Boy. I think he was onto something. Look, I'm gonna get me, I don't care, I'm gonna get a big old set of porn star cans, just massive. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I think about this a lot because, well, imagine this, right? You take 2 weeks off, you come back to work, you get a V-neck down your belly button. I can just imagine opening the door to my boss, like, hey, Paul. I know I've been out for 2 weeks, but here are those reports you asked for last Thursday.
Get a raise.
You got any questions? I can see it in his eyes. He's like, oh, God. No, well. Have you thought about going for upper management? It's like steam on my jaw, man. Oh, shit, I'm sorry. You're good, bro. Not mad at you. Not at all. I think a lot about getting fake sentences because, I mean, I'll be honest, without clothes, I look like a girl from the back. Yeah, I'm skinny, but I got ass, you know what I'm saying? I know I got ass because any girl that's ever seen me naked has made a point to say, like, Noel, is your butt bigger than mine? Next thing I know, we got her yoga pants in the mirror, just stretching it out, comparing, like, I think so. Well, so let me get a fistful right here, and I'll put that up to you. Don't touch me, put that right up to you right there. Yeah, you hit the 4 fingers, but you don't quite touch the thumb, so. I'm gonna say, yeah, I got plenty more ass than you. Take it as well, I'm very proud of you guys. You were like, wonder about academic comedy, this man's gonna be bringing tonight. Ass and titties, that's the answer. I was gonna talk a little bit more about my ass, but what I'm more excited about is to talk about the man who's looked at my ass. His name's Milo Yiannopoulos. First time we're sharing the stage together, so he asked me to write a little roast. So I'm gonna roast Milo for the next 5 minutes. I thought you'd be more excited. I don't even have a career. I'm battling a gay Jew. I'm about to end it before it even begins. You should be pumping me up for this. Milo went to UCSB last week, where he was carried in on a throne. Finally, he figured out a way to sit on 12 men at once. Milo's popularity and recent success has inspired him to write a book. It's titled, How to Get Others to Be Racist for You. Some people have said Milo has no connection to black culture. That's not true. He stole his haircut from Al Sharpton.
Right pipeline.
I really don't understand what you're saying. I got the lap bar back there. Hey, what do Milo and the NFL have in common? They're full of black athletes.
Yeah, I know, because there's
Oh man, I can see you laughing back there. Milo, you're the man, and I want to end this with something positive. Thank you for bringing me to the stage. That positive note is your HIV results. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Noel. Though this event has been formally advertised as a lecture by Milo Yiannopoulos, tonight we have a very special treat for you, and will instead be hosting both Milo Yiannopoulos and Dave Rubin of the Rubin Report. Milo and Rubin will dialogue for an hour on issues related to third-wave feminism, including but not limited to free speech, the gender wage gap, rape culture, social justice, cultural authoritarianism, and the emerging phenomenon of safe space, microaggression, and trigger warning culture on college campuses. Now, to introduce our special guests. Dave Rubin is an American comedian, talk show host, and television personality who is currently the host of the political show The Rubin Report, which is part of Aura TV and formerly the Young Turks Network. The left of center himself, Rubin targets many topics including political correctness, free speech, mass media, religion, foreign affairs, and the ideological split between liberalism and progressivism, and has been influential in popularizing the phrase progressive left. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome David Rubin.
What did I get myself mixed up in? We will find out.
And now to introduce the man that we all came here to see tonight, Milo Yiannopoulos. For his unique ability to expose most totalitarian factions of the identitarian social justice left that seek to suppress free speech and propagate falsehoods regarding issues related to science and culture. Beginning with his campaign against modern feminists in the Gamergate scandal, and now across university campuses with his dangerous faggot tour, Milo Yiannopoulos has championed the conservative voice and brought to light the beast of the fascistic left on college campuses, as we have witnessed today. Let's give him a round of applause.
Handheld.
There we go. Alright, we've done this a couple times before.
Yeah.
Usually there are barbarians at the gate, but this is fine.
No. Just your producer.
Yeah, the first time.
No, I'm kidding. She's lovely. She's here. She's wonderful.
I just want to be clear. A lot of you guys have come up to me and said, "Those are your people out there, Dave."
They are your people.
No, those are not.
They are your people.
People.
You know, he said before, he said, oh, well, you know, my people, reasonable people, the sensible people, they're not here. So what you're basically telling me is that the left is either fucking insane or don't give a shit. You're coming over to the Republicans when?
Listen, I want the left to wake up, and that's what I'm trying to do by being here with a racist, bigot, homophobic,
transphobic, misogynistic. What are the other ones? Shout them out. Welcome to my life.
Yeah.
It's not a show. This is how I live. For you, this is a treat. For you, this is like an evening out. You know, you told me you could have been at home with Netflix and lamb chops this evening. I've given you a lovely evening out, but I have to live through this shit every day.
Well, let's do this. Let's do it. All right. So, before we get into all the feminism and the free speech, college, the trigger words, and all that stuff, what do you make of this, of what has happened here? Did you see the Indian outside?
I'm sure we're allowed to call them that anymore. That's very culturally insensitive of you, Dave. That's your last liberal fan. Go on. I call them red Indians to antagonize people. You're supposed to call them Native American people.
Okay.
They're your fucking rules. I don't know how I'm supposed to even know these rules. This hierarchy of victimhood you're citing. Where did Indians come? Were sort of like race mixing gay Jews. Like, are they more oppressed than me? Are they less oppressed?
Gays are off the list, right?
Oh, we're not oppressed anymore.
Gay white
but you did this. You did this.
I did.
You personally did this.
Yeah.
You know, Dave is a sorry excuse for homosexual. Let me explain. Now his boyfriend will disagree with this.
I'm married. I'm married.
Yes, that's the fucking problem.
Hey,
Gay marriage. Are you insane? Gay marriage? This is what liberals have
to what used to be. I just don't have the jaw muscles you have. That's the
It looks like you don't have any of the muscles I have. I'm just kidding. You know, we actually really like each other. We do. We have to get this out of our system so we can talk about the good stuff.
Yeah. Well, all right, so let's get some good stuff. So what do you make of just what has happened here? I mean, the fact that there are literally dozens, if not hundreds of people out there, that just to hear you speak, I'm pretty sure you're not going to bring any real hate speech here or demand that anyone be hurt or killed.
I mean, I tried.
You did.
I failed horribly.
Yeah,
if this is the face of American hate speech sucks. If this is the face of this sort of racist, white supremacist, sexist, transphobic, homophobic, far right in America, I don't think the left has too much to worry about.
I mean, that is a good point, right? So they went from like wearing hoods to hateful people to
Democrats, yes.
Yeah.
that was what people do. The KKK being a party of Democrats. Yes.
I think they're used to you people.
You know what? Yeah. I'm going to invoke the memory of Daddy, who I met. Actually, that I met him. I didn't know that I could sustain an erection for 4.5 hours. Even me. But no, it was possible. No, I met him, and it was lovely. It was one of those transcendent experiences you never quite forget. I'm just going to say something awful, but I can't.
Free speech, motherfucker. No, I'm not going to say that.
Hoist my own petard. No, what I was going to say is it was a wonderful experience. I lost track of the question.
You were telling us how much you love Donald Trump.
Oh, I love it. Oh, yes, no, I was going to say you should consider yourself admonished. I disavow you. You're admonished as a dirty fucking liberal. No, I want you all to be kind today, because Dave has taken a journey. He's taken a journey with me. I am, I think, by far your most successful popular guest of all time. Thank you, listeners. And I think I have by far exceeded the view count of any of your other guests. Thank you. Anyway, and I've seen you go on a journey. I've seen you go on a journey from, can you believe this? The man that sits in front of you today is crusader for free speech and real tolerance. This cultural libertarian that you see ahead of you used to work with the Young Turks. But you've come on a journey, and it's a journey I think a lot of America has come on.
Well, because I care about free speech more than I care about whether we agree on abortion or whether we agree on taxes.
We agree that you're wrong about everything.
All right, well, I thought we were here to talk about you.
Well, it's so much.
Yeah, let's talk about you. Really, what do you make of just this? What has happened?
It's wonderful. It's marvelous. You guys are understandably frustrated. Thank you so much for bearing it out, like sitting with all that craziness outside. What I would encourage you to remember is that once again our point is to improve for us. There's nobody in here. We'll find out in Q&A maybe, but unlikely to be many people in here who come with reason and evidence-based questions, with factual objections to something we might say on stage, because I think basically it's pretty fucking difficult to argue that people should say they do really be what they want, which is all I've ever really asked for. But when you see the shrieking outside, did you see the girl with the trash can? You haven't seen this yet, I don't think you'll hear. So she was outside, she's like wailing like a banshee. Like some sort of supernatural creature. Have you seen The Ring? The girl with the fringe? What are you here for? Like, what's wrong with Milo? I don't know who that is. Well, no, the two purposes that these people serve by not allowing anyone in. One is like care in the community. I'm like a free day out for the mentally ill. Because affirmative action on American campuses, you have to let retarded people in as well, and that's okay. People who think they're Napoleon. But the other reason that it's good is that it demonstrates what I
try to suggest, which is that the left has lost its way. And I think it's part of the reason for your drift perhaps toward the centre, maybe more toward libertarianism, certainly toward cultural libertarianism. And it's been a lovely thing to watch, and I think it's a journey that America is going on too. And I think the ultimate conclusion of that journey, you're not there, you're not here yet, you're not with us yet, but I think the ultimate...
Oh, preach, a wise one.
I think the ultimate... You're older than me, aren't you?
Who is he? Keep up.
I'm counting. 31. I'm 31. In gay years, it's like dog years. In gay years, it's like 66. So if I'm not really rich and really popular and really successful, I'll never get it. I'm fine, actually, I'm fine. No, look, I think it's great, and I think what it demonstrates is that the right now on campuses, conservatives and libertarians, are, if you like, the party of facts, the party of reason, the party of logic, the party of tolerance and free speech. And that's new. That hasn't always been so. I have no particular love for the religious right. I have no particular love for the censors and scolds and cultural nannies of the 1990s, when they were saying that video games can inspire school shootings and all that kind of stuff. That was horse shit. And it's horse shit now when the progressive left. And it's horseshit now when the progressive left says, with no evidence and invoking some vague mystical conspiracy theory called the patriarchy, that video games can somehow make you sexist. That's also horseshit. What I think what's happening here demonstrates is that to be rogue, to be punk rock, to be a dissident these days means to be conservative, to be libertarian, or indeed, and this is the final, I was about to say final solution. Of course.
It's not that part of the show yet.
That would end up on BuzzFeed in minutes. Final solution to the free speech problem. You heard it first.
But isn't that it? Isn't that
I need Christina Hoff Sommers here to jump in with what Milo meant to say was. No, what I think the ultimate conclusion of this is the election of President Trump. Because irrespective of what you may think about his individual policies, although I think most Americans who work want immigration to be fixed, and most Americans who work see that this globalization and free trade hasn't worked for everyone, perhaps hasn't worked for them. I think the threat that Donald Trump represents to the people we hate most is so important. And this election is being fought culturally, not economically. The dirty secret, well, there are a couple of dirty secrets about Republicans and conservatives and libertarians under 40. One is they don't care about anti-Semitism, and no conservatives know about this because they think it's the same kind of bogus thing as crying racism, crying sexism. Now, they're partly right and partly wrong about that. But nobody knows that, and nobody talks about that. They sort of interrogate that allegation with the same degree of skepticism, which is why a lot of Trump fans get accused of being anti-Semites on the internet. It's not that. They just find Jew jokes funny, like Hellraisers and Satanists of the 90s found that funny.
So that frog with the Trump head?
No, that's...
He doesn't hate on you?
No, that's Pepe. That's Pepe.
Oh,
that's Pepe. That's Pepe. Pepe's lovely.
Pepe, we know Pepe?
Do you have any rare Pepes? Do we have any rare Pepes in the audience? Rare Pepes, we do. One of the other.
Frog telling me I own the central banks every day. I don't know what that.
We do. We do run everything. Facts can't be racist. Jews do are vastly overrepresented in the media. Vastly overrepresented in banking. No.
Come on, man.
Everybody says it. Okay. It's there.
You were Christian, you were
no,
atheist,
it's there. I've never said I was
atheist.
atheist. No one's ever said anything so awful to me. I never said I was atheist. My God. No. No, my mother is Jewish. So according to Jewish law, I'm Jewish, matrilineally speaking. That's their rules.
Yeah,
I was raised. No, I've got two because I really love Jesus and I'll shoot someone for him. So I'm like, I won't. We don't condone violence. This is the Supreme Uzi. Do you like it? It's my favorite new thing. It's great. No, one other of the dirty secrets about people under 40, and I think the most important one, is that for them, cultural conservatism is gone. It's dead, and it's not coming back. These people rightly see the war on drugs as a mess, as a horrible disaster. They don't much care for the sort of religious conservatism that, that ran rampant in the 90s and blamed young people for things they weren't responsible for. And they don't much care for a lot of, reactionary, if you like, conservative social values. They don't care about much of that stuff.
So really this whole thing, and you are just a reaction to the Christian right in a way, right? You're saying I don't care about gay marriage, I don't care about drugs. These aren't the issues that matter, but they pushed that for a long time, and then they birthed you.
Well, I don't. Oh, I mean, no. I'm a creation, I suppose, if you want to demean me in that way. I suppose that you would call me a creation of the progressive left. I think I'm a necessary correction to the insanity on college campuses and in the media. There's no question whatsoever that American college campuses and the American media is infected with a disease, social justice. There's no question about it. And it may have started on your side, be propagated by people from your side. Are you responsible for this? The Young Turks? Were you ever talking about sort of? Do you ever on film complaining about sexism? Ever on film complaining about? No, I don't know. Anyway, I think that there's something very wonderful happening in politics. I think Trump is doing it. In media and on campuses, I think I'm doing it. In media, you're doing it too. Pushing back against the people who want to control what you say, what you think, what you do, who you read, what video games you play, what language you can use, how you can dress, who you can hang out with. That's over now. Yes. It's not working anymore. It's all gone. It's all gone. And you can tell from the hysteria outside, you can tell from the furiousness of journalists at BuzzFeed and Gawker and Vike and Mike, Vox, whatever, all those terrible fucking places. You can tell from the ever greater hysteria about ever smaller subjects. You can tell they know the jig is up. You can tell from the atmosphere on campus. You just know, these people are it's starting to dawn on them. They're starting to get the message that saying racist is not going to shut people up anymore. It doesn't shut me up. It doesn't shut anyone in this audience up. Now you've got to come with facts. Because for too long, the bogus cult of social justice has policed people's lives. It has forced people to watch their speech. I mean, like, if you just think about it, we'll talk about this a little bit in a minute, I think, but the death of Gawker and why I think it's a wonderful thing. And as a journalist, as a journalist, it's not very becoming of me to dance on the grave of any media publication in a time when it's so difficult to make ends meet and make anything worth it. But Gawker, more than any other publication, made people scared to make jokes. Ordinary private citizens were like, will a bored Gawker writer pick this up and ruin my life because I made a joke about AIDS? Mm-hmm. That's a sort of tyranny, and it's coming to an end. And the people who benefit from that tyranny, the mediocre, the lazy, the hateful, the fat, the facially pierced, the blue-haired, the people for whom being black is their only marketable skill, You see, sweetheart, no one's buying what you're selling anymore. No one's buying what you're selling anymore. There we go, off you go. If you go 2 blocks down, you'll find an ice cream truck, don't worry. There's a humming. Did somebody wire a detonator? I feel a buzz. I don't know what's happened. Okay.
Now, I'm guessing.
While the trash takes itself out, let's carry on.
Because I'm the good, guilty liberal here.
I know, you feel bad now, don't you?
I'm guessing if she had just waited till the end of this and asked you a question in the Q&A, you would have gladly listened to her, and then you would have done a little back and
I
forth.
published a column, How to Beat Me. I wrote it down. I literally gave them an instruction book, but they're so fucking self-involved and stupid and lazy, they don't read it and they don't listen. What I said, look, no position is insurmountable, except perhaps for the rugged defense of free speech and liberty. No position is impervious to criticism or to challenge. If you don't like something I say about Black Lives Matter, as it seemed this crazy Harridan didn't, if you don't like something that I say about feminism, come to me with facts, with reason, with logic. The progressive... And just as importantly, wait your fucking turn. I literally, so confident am I, you know, that they are the most intellectually lazy people on the planet. I wrote them a guide on how to beat me. I tweet it every week. And this is this lovely inversion that I'm seeing happen, which I love so much. This lovely inversion of what the left has done to us for so long just shows how empty and platitudinous the crap they shut us down with is, you know? Huh? Anyway. Thank you.
Talk about feminism. Let's use a segue. Okay, so feminism. This tour is called Feminism is Cancer.
Well, this talk is, yes, this talk.
Now, I remember when I first saw you tweeting about it. At that time, you had a blue check. You don't have it anymore.
How many followers do you have?
All right, whatever.
You want to start this shit again?
The point is, Milo.
I can get that Google trend graph out if you like.
Oh, the trend graph. All right, I gotta get a small piece. Listen, here we go. Here we go. All right, so when you started that thing, you knew what you were doing. You were going to inflame these girls, right? That was what you were going for. Is that the only...
Alluding to me as intentionally provocative.
Intentionally.
Intentionally provocative.
Intentionally provocative.
It's a horrible allegation.
How intentionally provocative were you trying to be? I mean, you throw that out there, and a lot of people are going to be upset. And I think some of it is legit, comparing feminism to cancer. A lot of good people die of cancer.
Yeah, and they email me and they say, I died of cancer, and you're right. I died of cancer. My mum died of cancer, or...
That was literally supposed to be something I never
God damn it, they contact me from the netherworld. I fucked that up, didn't I? I fucked that up. No, so let me tell the full story, because I'll get it right this time. 12,000 people watching this, and I fucked up my line. No, so over Christmas last year, correct, I was verified on Twitter. They took it away because they like social justice warriors more than they like
well, we
me.
can get to that.
No, but I think we're done on that subject. Actually, I think we're good. We're good.
Okay. You want to see my blue check? Or... All right, come on, go ahead. Go.
You're losing them.
Go ahead.
You're losing them. First of all, I said I had very exciting news. I'd just been appointed social justice editor of BuzzFeed. And I got lots of my friends in the media with blue checks to start tweeting, congratulations, buddy, to give it a sort of aura of verisimilitude. Because it's not a good troll unless you really, you got to go all out. And so there were thousands of people tweeting, at BuzzFeed Ben, at BuzzFeed Andrew, whatever his name is, how dare you, how could you hire this monster, I'm never reading BuzzFeed again. I'm just sitting at home going, Anyway, so Twitter tells me I have to take it off. But before I do, as the newly appointed social justice editor of BuzzFeed, I post this poll. And it said, would you rather your child had A, feminism, or B, cancer? And I think by now the world knows the results. 22,000 people voted, the public had their say, and cancer won 55-45. I had people coming to me, I'm going to get it right this time, saying, I'm a 2-time cancer survivor, and I chose cancer. I had people coming to me saying, my mother died of cancer, and I chose cancer. So it was a wonderful thing, and I thought, this has legs. This has legs. People really don't like this feminism stuff. And I've obviously already been talking about it a lot. Look, I say often that the only response to outrage culture is to be outrageous, but there's a serious point behind it, which is this. These people have lied to and about men for decades. They have ridiculed and demeaned half of the population on the basis of conspiracy theories and not fact. They have made it acceptable in public life, and not just acceptable, but laudable, to say things like, I bathe in male tears, masculinity is so fragile, all this kind of hateful garbage they spew, that they get rewards from their peers from, social and professional. They have made bigotry acceptable. I think a joke about cancer is the fucking least they deserve.
So not for these guys, for the people watching that don't really know you. You don't hate women, do you? Is this about... People will say, well, he hates women. I saw a sign outside, Milo Yiannopoulos hates women.
It takes a particularly stupid person to believe that feminism is equal to women, and
Let's not jump over that.
I don't take particular pains to make the distinction because I think anybody incapable of understanding it isn't worth my time. It's not worth my time. I don't care about people that dumb. If somebody's so stupid that they don't understand that I'm saying that the modern incarnation of feminism is counterproductive for men and women, that doesn't mean I hate women. I don't care about you. If you are so stupid that you believe that, as I say frequently, the black community does deserve some restitution and some to have its problems addressed, but Black Lives Matter isn't the answer. If you think that means I hate black people and I'm racist, you're fucking stupid. And I don't want to spend... I don't lose sleep over the tears of people like that, and I take great pleasure in antagonizing the deliberately disingenuous people, for example, the campus social justice warriors who know perfectly fucking well what I mean, but who show up, like that crazy tranny from American University, who showed up with a sign that said, well, they're all crazy, obviously, but no one's trans, it's a brain disease. We can get into it if you want. Well, this crazy tranny with the awful hair and the little off-the-shoulder dress, like shot putter's shoulders in an off the shoulder. Hey, with a sign that says, Milo wants me dead. No, Milo just wants you in different clothes. No, and they just make this stuff up. Milo wants you dead. I've never said that. I don't want you dead. I'd like you in a treatment facility. I don't want you dead. No, but they just make stuff up. They deliberately misinterpret your remarks, and in some cases they're just fucking idiots, and I don't really care about those people. I like smart people like this.
So all of this, if you add all of this up, everything you've said so far, this explains Trump perfectly, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And why you should vote for him. You're going to vote for Daddy. You're going to vote. Do you hear that? Do you hear that little probably? That little wiggle room in there?
What?
That little room to maneuver. Hillary or Bernie? You see, the overall effect of Donald Trump. Now look, bombastic, but you can obviously deal with bombastic people. Occasionally contradicts himself. You can obviously deal with people like that. Has some, let's say, views that most people perhaps don't hold. You can obviously deal with people like that. There's nothing about him that you can't tolerate, given that you can, have supper with me. So what's left is what's the effect of a Donald Trump presidency going to be? He can't be that bad. I mean, the American system is designed to limit the power of the president, right? Nothing that bad is going to happen. What he's going to do, he's going to build a wall. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be a wonderful. It's going to be a wonderful. It's going to be a beautiful. He's going to build a wall. He's going to build a wall. He's going to put feminists, cyclists, vapors, and maybe atheists. I haven't decided yet. No, I'm just kidding. You can stay, but you've got to like lighten the fuck up a bit. You know, they're going to go over the wall. They're going to go to Mexico. They're going to go to someone else. He's going to fix trade, you know, because it hasn't worked for all Americans. And
Go get Wade and be happier.
And left. I heard from my left. I heard from my left just now the very cruel and unkind comment. Did you hear what it was? You need some dick in your life. And no, stop. It was mean. It was mean. Don't applaud. Applaud later. I have a theory about this. Now.
Oh, you ready to bust out that theory that I heard this afternoon? This is that theory? Here we go.
Well, it's about Black Lives Matter. I've got this theory that it's basically a sort of militaristic lesbianic cult. Now, if you look at the men in Black Lives Matter, cucked as fuck, right? They're these whiny. I mean, DeRay is a homosexual for a start. Sean King, messed up, white. The guys are these sort of like wiry, weedy, you know, little rich kids who are like squealing on stage about whatever. And other than that, it's mostly black women. It's mostly black women being the most hysterical and causing the most fuss. And they're all lesbians. Now, I've got perfect gaydar. My gaydar is immaculate. I sat down and it was almost hurting. But I've got perfect... Ooh. I like a bit of mood lighting. There's a bit of drama. It's perfect. Somebody's got a hand. There's a fight going on in the back now. It's not even the stage lights, you stupid idiots. It's the wrong switch. We'll come back to Black Lives Matter next. Just you carry on with what you want to do.
You want to get back to that?
We'll come back to it. We'll come back to it.
Yeah?
We'll come back to it.
All right. So Trump becomes president.
Yes.
Do you think all these promises happen? Do you think you really think...
Well, he's only made 2 promises. He's made 2 promises. Those 2 promises are fix the wall and it's build the wall and fix trade. I mean, everything else seems to be up for grabs, which is fine. I mean, who wants an activist president? Who said we had to have all these presidents that wanted to do things? The best president in history was Calvin fucking Coolidge because he did nothing. He did nothing. I think, you know, Trump is going to quickly find that he's not able to do very much after he builds his wall and he fixes trade, and that suits most people just fine. You know, he's going to be a slightly more bombastic Coolidge, and I think most people are fairly relaxed about that. But the cultural effect of Donald Trump is going to be very special. The cultural effect of Donald Trump is going to be marvelous. Donald Trump represents the single greatest threat to the left's 30-year history of shaming, name-calling, silencing, bullying, nannying, bossing around, the schoolmarmishness of the left, because he blows through it like a juggernaut. I mean, by comparison, I'm merely a well-appointed, you know, 9/11 or something. You know, he's like a freight train. He represents an existential threat to the regressives we hate so much, because he shows them up for the nonsense that they are. You know, every time he's accused of being a sexist, he'll double down or explain with evidence and history why it's not true. Every time he's accused of being a racist, I think he probably just laughs it off and moves on. Every time he's accused of any of these things, it doesn't work, it doesn't affect him. And the media, which is so in hock to these ridiculous liberal social justice lunacies and platitudes, has lost its power to affect how people vote. The power of the American media to shape elections is fucking gone. It's over. And for those of us who think that journalism in this country is a shit show, that's no bad thing. I applaud that. I'm happy about that. The overall effect of Trump, I think, will achieve all of the objectives you most care about, which is why I'm so desperate to get you on the train. Who thinks Dave should vote for Trump?
My nightmare is coming to life, right?
You mean you're realizing I'm right?
No, go ahead.
No, that was a question.
You haven't got me there yet. Keep going.
See, I feel like he's softened, even in the course of this chat.
Keep going.
I feel like it's all right, okay, we'll get there. What else you got?
Okay. All right. Well, let's talk about the other person that you love, because I know Trump is one of your loves, but I think your first love, really,
Mariah Carey,
is Ben Shapiro.
Oh.
Now, to turn the tables on you a little bit here, I have to say that as a liberal, I enjoy watching two right-wing people kick the shit out of each other.
We don't. We love each other.
Yeah, but what happened? Because you guys used to really. It was fun. It was fun with you two, and now.
And then little Benji lost his sense of humor. I was being nice. No, shut up. I was being nice. I was being so nice, and then it seemed to take a turn. And I think it took a turn around the same time he realized Trump was going to be president. And he realized that doubling down on that and the other thing, which I can't talk about, probably ended his career. And it would be a really good idea if he started rolling back. I don't know. I think I can't talk too much about this because it's mean to punch people when they're on the way down. But what? Have you seen our Google Trends graph? No, I'm kidding. No, I mean, look, there are commentators who were in their prime feisty and brilliant and appeal to young people, and there are new, more interesting voices replacing them. And I don't think it's very becoming for those new, interesting voices to shit on people who used to be great.
So does that go to that at one time, as you're saying, this was about, people cared about politics because of issues, and you're saying it's simply, this election is just not about issues. Right?
No, and Ben will never understand that because he's been in the game too long, and he's, to put it briefly, part of the problem. He's still interrogating the political election on the basis of policy. Nobody's voting for policies. Young people don't care about foreign policy. They don't care about any of this stuff. They don't care about, Israel, frankly, to be honest. They don't care about most of the stuff that political pundits talk about. They don't care about any of the things the Washington elites think are so important. These think tank crap. They don't care about any of that stuff. They care about culture. And they care because they've grown up for 20, 30 years under an oppressive cultural landscape, which has told them, even though they know they're not, that they are bigots, that they're hateful, that they're sexist, that they're misogynist, that they're, all the rest of it. People the people in this hall, and even me, I've grown up for 30 years being told there's something wrong with me when I know there isn't. And people have reached breaking point with it now. And Trump has come along at exactly the right moment when people are prepared to vote culturally. And people are prepared to vote, yes, for a wacky, outsized candidate because they realize that nothing's going to change otherwise. And I think that those commentators who, you can tell them by their fury. The people who were the most angry about Trump, the never Trump people, are the people who realize that the gravy train just skidded to a halt. There is no more money for you. And and why? Very simple. You're losers. You kept losing. You lost every major argument with the possible exception of guns and maybe abortion. Everything else you lost. Conservatives are losers. They kept losing everything. And the public is tired of looking at conservative media and conservative politicians and seeing losers.
Well, we don't have a ton of time left. Should we talk about Islam?
If only rape culture were real, I'd spend even more time in fraternities.
So we'll go to rape culture. I saw some signs out there. Milo likes rape. Milo raped me.
Well, you know what? Milo likes rape. That one I have to give them. Not rape of you, rape of me.
Okay, so
They knew. No, there's no rape culture on American college campuses. It's fucking insane. What the Department of Justice statistics show is that perhaps 1 in 52 women are not raped but sexually assaulted, which is too many, but it is as Christina likes to say, world away from 1 in 3, 1 in 4, 1 in 5. It seems to go down. I think, it's going to end up like 20 in 4 women by the time we finish this conversation. But look, the left has a supply and demand problem, as Douglas Murray likes to say, with bigotry, so it has to enlarge the definition. So rape has now become sexual assault because, I can do this to you, and I, put it in the statistics. And they have to take these non-representative tiny samples in adult education colleges where everyone's 40, and of course they've had more life experience and bad things have happened when they've been out in the real world. If they're in adult education college, their life has probably been pretty shit. So no wonder that there's a higher incidence of these things. You have to do so much massaging and horse shit to get to these numbers, like 1 in 3, 4, 5. It's the most intellectually dishonest statistic in America today. It is shameful. Shameful. And the protester that we had here and the gender studies departments at universities should feel ashamed of themselves for lying to women. They should be ashamed of themselves for making women worried to go out on campuses, which are the safest places to be if you are a young woman. If they weren't, people wouldn't come to them. And a partisan point, if you want one, these are places that have been run by liberals for 30 years. And now liberals are telling us that places run by liberals are hotbeds of racism, sexism, and rape. Maybe it's time to put Republicans in charge. Of course, the truth is that none of that actually happens. None of it is real. It's used as a way to control people by the progressive left. Well, guess what? It doesn't work anymore. Rooms like this are filling up everywhere I go. Your audiences are exploding. This doesn't work anymore. The name calling, it's over. The public shaming, it's over. Liberals have to now come with facts, with arguments, with reason. In many cases, they're going to lose, and they're not going to like it very much, but they've got to learn to play fairly in the open marketplace of ideas, or they are going to be pushed so far out to the fringes of society, they are going to create things like Trump. The protesters outside, thank them. I thank them every time I show up because they are what is going to put Trump in the White House.
So what's the end game for Milo? What's the end game here?
Press secretary in a Donald Trump White House. Yeah.
You really want
I quite like and I quite like to also make the office like a press regulator as well. Now everyone says, "Oh, aren't you a free speech person? Like, why are you sort of like you sort of? Oh, Peter Thiel? Did you see the stuff like the Silicon Valley billionaire? So he's been secretly funding Hulk Hogan's case against Gawker. What a boss! Why do I think? Peter Thiel is not a threat to free speech. Peter Thiel is one of the people defending it. Why? Because Gawker is one of the primary engines of the nannying, silencing, bullying culture. Throughout the 90s and the 2000s, Gawker was responsible for scaring more people into silence than any Silicon Valley billionaire. People were terrified of what Gawker was going to do because it threw out bogus allegations of sexism and racism on a daily basis and destroyed lives. Getting rid of Gawker isn't a threat to free speech. Getting rid of Gawker is the best thing you can do to protect it. So, in my mind, Peter Thiel is a hero. And when Trump says, I think we should make it harder for the media to lie about people, anyone seriously disagree with that? We have a systemic industry-wide failure in this country in journalism. That's precisely when the government's supposed to step in. The First Amendment doesn't mean you can, maybe it does mean, but there should be consequences. You can knowingly print lies about people. Now, he's not saying if you get your facts wrong, you should be thrown in jail. Trump is talking about mendacious libel, knowingly printing things that aren't true about people. That happens to conservatives every day. Every day I read something in the press about me that is not true. And they refuse to change it. They refuse to change it because they know there are no consequences. There are no consequences for lying about conservatives, libertarians, Trump supporters, no consequences whatsoever. In fact, they will get rewards for doing it. Well, the tide is changing now, and I think that's good. Free speech is reasserting itself, and it's coming from the people. Look at these outlets, and not just the far left ones, but even CNN, you know, closing their comment sections because they're so fucking scared of what people in this room might say. Well, fuck them. Yes. Fuck them. I don't think it would be a bad thing if the internet did look a bit more like if the world did look a bit more like an internet comment section. It's more true and more real than anything you read in the newspapers.
That frog, he's real?
Pepe is real and very rare.
Can you just explain the frog to me and then we're done here?
No, you're too old. You'll just never understand it. Sorry. It's a generational thing.
Yeah. All right, well, I'll just kick it back to you. I mean, I feel you've given your closing statement here. I think people get the idea, but is there anything that you want to leave these guys with? Anything that you want to give them to go out and talk to those guys out there? And how do you get those guys? How do you convert those guys?
I don't care about those people. There's no reason why I should care about those people. No, they don't. No, they don't, because they're a tiny minority that has run rampant on campuses, run rampant in the media, and even infected politics, but their time is over. And you can tell. There's a girl outside. I was joking about the mentally ill thing, but only a little bit. There's a girl outside. Somebody came up to me and they said they walked outside. I said, what is it that you're so upset about? What don't you like about Milo? They turned around and said, I don't know who he is. They literally just show up to let off steam, and in the process, they're about to put their worst nightmare into the White House, and they are making me more famous with every time they do it, more successful every time they do it, more effective every time they do it. And the grand result of all of this, aside from feeding my narcissism, for which I thank you anyway, is that I've become, and I think you're like this too, we've become symbols of rebellion. We've become symbols of a movement of young people, and it is not just conservatives, and many disaffected liberals too, and that's sort of where you come in, really easing these people over and letting them know that it's safe to come, that the water's lovely,
Everybody plays their role, eh?
Right. This is where you're so crucial to the movement, if you like. Their time is over. They're becoming ever more hysterical because they know it. We're entering a time of fun and freedom and mischief, the ability to say what you want, do what you want, be what you want. We're entering a time when those people who wanted to control you through the medium of public shaming and name-calling are losing their power to do so. And it is a glorious, wonderful thing. You should all be very happy and proud that you're part of it. And you should... And if there's something that I'll give you to take away, because I see this glamorous, beautiful lady hovering. If there's something that to take away from this, it's that I'd like you all to line up to say hi to us afterwards, and every one of you to give him your own reason why he should vote for Donald Trump. I just gave you a wonderful evening.
Yeah. Milo Yiannopoulos, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much to Dave Rubin. Give Dave Rubin a huge round of applause. Thank you. Sorry we got cut so short. Huh?
Sit down. We have a surprise.
We're going to cancel your Q&A. That we're going to stop you from having the ability to ask us things. But your gracious hosts here from UCLA, who you should thank enormously for the massive hell they've been through today, have suggested that we can... See, I do this stuff for a living. It doesn't bother me anymore. But these poor people have had, shrieking protesters in their faces, telling them they are hateful, bigoted monsters for bringing us to campus. So, they've done a really good thing, and you should be grateful to them. They have very wonderfully suggested, I think you're about to say, that we can do a short Q&A for as much time as we're allowed to have the room for.
Yes. So, if you would like to ask a question, please line down on this side. We will give you, you're allowed to touch the mic, not touch the mic. A very short amount of questions. No longer. And to ask a question, I will pull away the mic if you go beyond a minute. Okay?
We'll try and answer as quickly as possible.
Oh, hey, what's up? My name is Shibam. I was the creator of Make UCLA Great Again.
Wonderful.
You know, we had elections here, and one of our big platforms is we wanted a chalk wall where students could have free speech. And since we announced that, we got a lot of criticism. People were using terms we never heard of, like anti-Zionist and bigots, and I guess one of my questions is, do you think this hatred towards free speech starts at a college level and then it gets deeper? Or is it, you know what I mean? If that makes sense.
It's worse than that, actually. It starts at high school now, because teaching as a profession does not attract the highest IQ candidates. The old, I mean, it's true of your professors as much as it is of high school teachers. If they were smarter, they'd be in a real job. You know, people feel like they have to go through the motions of being like kind and polite and deferential to teachers. Oh, it's such a great profession. No, they're fucking idiots and they're all left-wing cunts. And they're indoctrinating our children with lies. And it's why so many people are being homeschooled now. It starts in high school, unfortunately. But once we fix it here and we fix it in the media, we can work our way down to that. Thank you.
Milo, thanks for coming. Just because you are a certain way doesn't mean you have to derive your sense of self from that. And I'm wondering why you think people my age cling to their sexuality or gender is what defines them.
Yeah, I mean, was that clicking? Was that feminist clicking? Good Lord. Good. We don't have that at my events. We have only the jazz hands. Or if you're particularly excitable, you can do pizzazz hands. You can do oh, I can't do it with a mic in my, there's a lot, so you can look them up. The problem is that one of the ways in which the left seeks to demonize and eradicate masculinity is by eroding it as a concept and by trying to destroy the idea of the gender binary, which is just biological reality. They try to do this by muddying the waters between men and women, inventing this horse shit about genderqueer nonsense, you know, asexuality. Asexuality? Asexual, not asexual, you're just fat and you can't get a date. The only real asexual is Cliff Richard, and even he, I think, was done for fiddling with boys, wasn't he? No, I mean, yeah, this is one of the ways in which the left, it's part of the left's war on men. And it's one of the ways in which they seek to attack masculinity. The problem is women don't want it. Women don't want it because they are going out now and finding that no man actually makes them happy. And men don't want it either. It's become a sort of, I think because feminism won, and we should be happy that it did, you know, won the vote, so women have equal access and opportunities to everything, and they get equal pay and all the rest of it. You're down with that. You're not that much of a liberal, are you?
I'm with you.
No, good, okay, fine. I have to check, because they invented all this shit. You know, eventually we have to claw them back like tooth and nail. We eventually get them back over to the other side, you know, reason and common sense. The problem with it all is that this obsession with the genderqueer nonsense, obsession with new, what do you call it, new civil rights frontiers, as Time called transgenderism, is that feminism has got nothing left to fight for, so it's got to try to, you know, erode the hetero, cis, white, patriarchal, whatever, in other ways. And it's a shame, but the bottom line is there are men and there are women, and we're different, and that's okay. And you should remind your children of that and tell them not to listen to their teachers.
Milo, you're so handsome.
Oh,
I am
stop it.
I'm co-founder of Everpedia, a UCLA startup that is Wikipedia minus the fascism. Gawker has tried to ruin my life. They've bullied me and picked on me more than pretty much anybody, and still, every day, Gawker is my main go-to news source, and it's because Gawker has jokes.
Yeah.
And I want to know, why doesn't Breitbart or some, you know, non-horrible news outlet out there have jokes? Can you make something that competes with Gawker for my sense of humor and providing entertainment while also giving me the news?
Well, they employ me. I mean, how much do you want? I mean, the number of black dick jokes that Breitbart lets me publish, I mean, I'd never get away with it anywhere else. No, they've been amazing to me and very supportive, and I think it's an example of media done right, because, you know, we're like free speech central in our comment sections. People can say pretty much whatever they want, and we love that. And we've been embracing this new movement, and hiring people like me, I think, demonstrates that conservative media, although it might have been slower to get to, you know, the sort of bite and waspishness and humor that you're looking for, is certainly catching up fast. And there are some other good places. I think we're the best, which is why I work at Breitbart. But I don't think you'll have that problem for very much longer. I think this movement is so big and so powerful that we're, you know, that anybody with any sense and any budget to hire writers realizes this is where it's at. And in the 90s and the 2000s, you know, when liberals kind of ruled the roost in entertaining, biting, kind of humorous commentary on the news, is over. So now, you know, the left is the establishment. The left are in charge. You can only really be funny by poking fun at them. And there are only a couple of places. There are only a couple of places you're going to be able to read that.
Hi, Milo. Just want to say this is incredibly surreal. Glad I get to see you. All that good stuff. My question is.
Oh, leave him alone. I feel the same looking in a mirror. No, if you're excited to be here, imagine how I feel being me. It's great.
My question is you never talk about Gamergate that much anymore, but what role do you think it played in all of like this cultural revolution?
So I see a couple of frat boys in here. I see a couple of athletes in here. I see a couple of people who don't fall into the typical sort of gamer, the stereotypical idea of what gamers look like. But you should be hugely grateful for those so-called basement-dwelling nerds, because what the Gamergate movement did was prove that it is possible to beat the left. They did it when conservative media failed. They did it when conservative politicians failed. It was the first time that ordinary people proved that you could beat the feminist wackos if you tried. If you went up and said, no, where's your evidence? Where's your facts? That you could actually win, that you could beat them into submission, and that they would retreat into the humiliating circumstance of having nothing but, oh, death and rape threats are ruining my life, and trying to distract people from the fact that they lost the argument. It is a wonderfully emboldening moment in internet culture, and it is the reason I think that the cultural libertarian movement emerged. It is the way that many of us who have the privilege to have large audiences in that movement met. It's how we met. It's how we know each other. It's what brought us together. It is such an exciting and crucial and critical part of not just internet history, but cultural history in this country. It is the first time we beat the fuckers. And so, if you believe in the stuff that I believe in, and you share my views on any of the free speech stuff, and share his views on any of the free speech stuff, you should thank your lucky stars for those gamers. It's worth also thinking about. I know I said that I'm going to big up Breitbart a little bit because my boss is in the audience. It's worth also considering that, you know, conservative media doesn't really have your back either. At least, you know, not establishment conservative media. This was the most spectacular, most stunning failure to get behind something that could really do damage to the bad guys that I have ever seen. No conservative media outlet wants to cover this because they'd spent the 90s bashing video games over violence. They couldn't do this screeching U-turn and say, oh, well, they do make you violent, but they can't make you sexist. They were in such a bad position because they bought into this horse shit. They exhibited the most extreme form of cowardice I've ever seen, and it made me realize why Americans are so angry with their own conservative politicians and their own conservative media. And, you know, as you know, Breitbart didn't just support me, but they, you know, backed me to the hill, beefed up, you know, my resources, and we won. We won.
Hey, Milo, thanks for coming out. So, my question relates to, you've been saying that the left is on the run and that there's no united front on the left anymore, and I want to push back on that and say I do see a united front, even though their insults are becoming more vacuous, or people are seeing them as more vacuous. I don't see that they're on the run. On the right is where I see the fragmentation. I see the type of alt-right nationalists. I also see the quasi-libertarians, and the religious right still exists. So in light of all those things, I kind of wonder what you think the future of American conservatism is, and I also want you to back up with the claims that the left is on the run a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. Sure, it's a good question. Well, to take the first bit of it, there's fragmentation on both sides because life is messy and complicated and no two people believe the same thing. So we put ourselves into these broad buckets and we vote for political parties. We hope that they're going to pursue most of the agenda that we like. I think it's easy to characterize the right as in crisis. It certainly is, but I don't see it so much as... I don't really see that what's happening on the American right as a crisis. It's more of a generational change. You've got a lot of people in their 50s and 60s clinging desperately onto the levers of power who have resisted for 30 years, making way for younger, smarter, more interesting people because they're scared by them. They don't want to let go. And this is what the average age of a Fox viewer, is it 69, 71? It's not good news. That's not good news. My fans go as young as 13. That's good news. That means that people are listening that were young. I think what's happening on the right is a generational change. I think the young alt-righters and whatever who represent over half of conservatives in this country now, at least, and it's probably more, for whom culture really matters. I think that's a generational shift. What's happening on the left is more difficult to discern because the left traditionally protects its own bad actors. The left doesn't eject anyone. You can be the most appalling, lesbianic misandrist on the left, and nobody will ever say a bad thing about you. They might not praise you in public anymore, but they won't diss you. You're a white supremacist, you will never get a job in conservative media. The worst, most bigoted, racist, sexist, dreadful characters have columns in mainstream left-wing publications. They will never be ejected by the left. The problem is that ordinary people at home are starting to see this, starting to work out that some of this stuff is hateful, and the left now has a big problem. I think that the split on the left is very clearly exhibited by the Bernie-Hillary thing. I think what's happening on the right is different, it's generational.
Thanks for the honor of the last question. I'm not sure you're going to think it's a great one to end on. It's a question on topic. A question on topic of eugenics. Is it worth it?
Oh gosh. Go on.
I was curious when I heard you mention in an interview recently. You quipped that gay men should procreate to a higher degree. Would be better.
Yes.
That piqued my interest in. What does a guy like you think on this topic of eugenics, past, present, future?
End on eugenics? I don't know if we can
Oh, no, I think it's good. Do you want to take that? No. I think what I wrote was that, obviously it would be a shame if this didn't enter the gene pool. It wouldn't be fair on any of you. No, I think what I wrote is a shame that, it was a shame that gay people weren't breeding anymore. In the 50s and 60s, gay people used to get married, have kids, and have a sort of double life. And that's when gay culture is at its best, when it's forbidden, when it's dissident, creates a culture for great art and all the rest of it. Now, when gay people get sort of domesticated like him by the left, encouraged to get a dog, get married, settle down in a gay ghetto in West Hollywood, basically become a sort of safe, domesticated, conservatized homosexual. This is not the moment for you to speak. Part of the problem, in other words. They don't breed. I mean, if I'm guessing if you were going to have kids, you'd probably adopt one because it's like, the good thing to do. Get a little chocolate baby. Yeah, probably. When it gets to 16, I'll take it off you. Took you long enough. What I say with you, because gays test higher for IQ, on average, and IQ is 60 to 80% heritable, it's a shame that gay people aren't breeding anymore. We know, for instance, that the median IQ in this country is going down, while the median IQ in Russia and China is going up. That obviously has consequences for this country's ability to compete. Now, most of that was in the context of a relatively satirical column, but now you've suggested I might be a eugenicist, I'm going to have to go away and think about it. Maybe I am.
I can accept that.
All right, thanks. Yeah.
I'll just quickly add one thing to that, which is I don't know if my husband and I are going to have kids, but we're going to keep trying. So. Good night, everybody!
Dave Rubin, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you all for coming. We're really glad that we got such a big turnout for the end. We need people to exit from the front, right, and left entrances. Please don't exit through the back.
Are we going to say hello to people? Are we going to get to say hello to people?
If you want to, but we got to know.
Fine, so we